I mean, they might finish the season ranked top 25, but it's hard to confidently say they're going to be top 25. But I don't know. Can you confidently say there's 25 teams better than Florida State?
Right now? No.
Yeah.
Who can? That's why we talk about it on headlines every week, because Jeff is so adamant that it's going to be really tough for them to win 8 games coming off 2-10. And I'm like, but that's not this team. That team is gone forever. Like, the whole offense is new, and the coaching staff is new. So saying that because they were so bad in South Bend, they can't be good against Alabama makes no sense, because they're completely different players. Literally, like, not just they've gotten bigger and stronger. It's a whole different team, especially on offense. It's an entirely different offense. So how could anyone know? Like, I'm not convinced they got a bunch of NFL guys in the portal, but I think they got better at every single position on offense. And I don't know what Alabama did. Like, we just, it's not, you can't judge it the way you used to anymore. You just can't. You don't know what all these other teams are either. You know if they have a returning quarterback or not. And you know, like in Ohio State's case, yeah, they got an incredible wide receiver. So does Alabama, by the way, that's coming back. That's nice. That's a nice feather in the cap, but you don't know what their running game's going to be like. You don't know what their quarterback's going to be. Or their defense. It's all brand new, man. It's all brand new. I'm going ahead to assume that Alabama will be good because it's Alabama.
Yeah.
But, I mean, are they going to be like Saban prime Alabama? Or are they going to be like last year's Alabama team? Like, last year's Alabama team was good by any measure, really. 9-4 is good, right? But
yeah.
It certainly wasn't great, and it certainly wasn't unbeatable. And you can't, in May, you can't know who's unbeatable.
Yeah.
You just, like, there's no way any of us last May would have said there is zero chance Florida State can beat Notre Dame in South Bend. We might have all picked it as a loss, but no way did we think, man, that game in South Bend is unwinnable. Not only is it unwinnable, it's going to be embarrassingly bad. You just don't match up with them. Nobody was sitting here in May, I'm talking about in Tallahassee or in Indiana.
Or Bristol, Connecticut.
Yeah, right. Nobody was saying that. Nobody even could imagine a scenario where Florida State is so outmanned that they're going to lose by 50 points to Notre Dame. No chance. So it's crazy to me that we still live in this bubble, some of us, that, like, not even a bubble, just this mindset that things are wildly different now, and what you were last year has anything at all to do with what you're going to be this year. Because it doesn't. We just lived it. We just went from 13-0 to 2-10. Nothing that happened in 2023 carried over. Not one darn thing. So then why would we think that something that happened in 2024 automatically carries over? Unless you just think Norvell is a horrible coach, which, fine, but there's proof to the contrary on that too. So I don't know. That was a long-winded answer.
I mean, if you kind of just do the math, listen, I know it's going to make a lot of people upset, but there's 10 teams in the SEC that are probably better than Florida State preseason, I would think. And I know we're talking about at the end of the year, but just, I mean, listen, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss, Missouri, South Carolina, and A&M.
But why do we think that? Just because of how they finished the season, or are you talking about
the strength of their program, the fact they've not had these levels of lows? Like, listen, man, Elijah Drinkowitz got hired the same time as Mike Norvell. He's won more games at Missouri than Mike Norvell's won at Florida State.
Yeah.
South Carolina's got a quarterback. A&M's got things on a pretty good trajectory, it feels like, with Elko there. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe Ole Miss takes a step back, losing their quarterback. LSU, listen, Norvell's beat him twice. I get it. But Brian Kelly's never fallen to the depths that Florida State has. We'll talk about Alabama here in a second. Tennessee was in the playoff last year. Georgia was in the playoff last year. Texas was in the playoff last year. I think there's only probably 4 teams in the Big Ten. I would say Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, and Illinois. I think probably neutral site or favored over Florida State. Big 12, I don't know, maybe just one, just because, one of those teams will probably is going to make the playoff by virtue of being the best team in that conference. And then, I don't know, maybe 2 teams in the ACC are better than Florida State, Clemson, and then if you want to make an argument, which I wouldn't, that Louisville or Miami is, and then one group of 5 team. So I don't even think that's 20 teams I just listed, right?
But also, I think all of that is speculation based on last year. And I'm not disagreeing with you. It might
I don't know. I don't know if there's I can't tell you which team in the Big 12, but I bet you the Big 12 champion is probably going to be better than Florida State.
Buddy, I'm telling you, there might be 7 teams in the Big 12 that are better than Florida State. There might be 0. Like, we just don't know. That was my overriding point. Like, the fact that Missouri had a decent season last year, South Carolina, by its standards, had a good season. It doesn't matter this year. It just doesn't. We just lived it.
But they're bringing back important pieces. They've got their defensive end Dylan Stewart. They've got Lenore Sellers, a quarterback, South Carolina.
But
I think they'd be safe.
You have a bad start to September, and let's see if it can. And I'm not saying it will. It will spiral on a couple of teams. Now, it's not going to spiral to the depths of hell that Florida State lived. But I'm just saying, in May, it's impossible to know what any of these, other than the bluest of blue bloods, and Ohio State, Texas, Georgia. Even though I have no idea what Georgia's going to do at quarterback, but Ohio State and Texas for sure are better than you, much better than you. And most of those teams you mentioned might be better than Florida State, but we just don't know. It's all speculation in May, and it's a radio show, or it's a podcast, so this is what we're supposed to do. But we can't speak with certainty about who's better than what anymore, because that's just not how this sport works anymore. It isn't. This sport. You're going to have huge ups and huge downs, not maybe to the level of Florida State, but I don't think I'd be surprised if Missouri went 5-7. Just same thing with South Carolina, same thing with A&M. Like I have no idea what these teams are. In a given day, or in a given year, let's say, Florida State can be better than those teams. We'll see with this one. We'll see what Castellanos is. But if Castellanos looks like 2023 Castellanos, and you're running for 260 yards a game as a team, yeah, man, you're going to be good. But that's it. That's a big if. That's all. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's hard. It's impossible to know right now who's better than who, except for the bluest of blue bloods.
If there was
I'm taking the Noles and the points against Bama. You heard it here first, folks. Get on that. Jump on that early. Take Florida State in the points.